Beloved cricket commentator and former Australian captain Richie Benaud, often called the voice of cricket, has died. He was 84. His family in Sydney announced that he passed away peacefully in his sleep last night. Benaud, an icon in cricket coverage for almost half a century, announced last year that he was battling skin cancer that happened because of the endless years he spent outdoors, first as a cricketer and then as a commentator. Benaud played 63 test matches for Australia, during which he scored 3 centuries. In 1958, he became Australia's test captain until his retirement in 1964. After that, he took up journalism and cricket commentary, and for many, he was the best man ever behind the microphone. Tributes have been pouring in. That's Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott, who tweeted to say, "It's a sad day for Australia. We've lost a cricketing champion and an Aussie icon. What an innings. Rest in peace, Richie Benaud." Piers Morgan, a British commentator, said, "Rest in peace, Richie Benaud, the greatest cricket commentator of them all and a wonderful man." Former Australian fast bowler Brett Lee also tweeted to say, "Very sad to hear the news today of the passing of Richie Benaud. What a legend of a cricketer and broadcaster, the best ever." Another Aussie, a pacer, Peter Siddle, tweeted to say, "Growing up, the summer of cricket had only one voice. Rest in peace, Richie, you will be missed, mate." All right, to talk a little bit more about Richie Benaud, we're joined by another Australian, Dean Jones. Dino, thank you so much for joining us. That tweet from Peter Siddle, in a way, sort of captures it all really well as the voice of cricket. You spent summer watching the cricket with that voice. Your memories of Richie Benaud?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. It's not great to wake up to the sad news of Richie's passing. I think all the young kids, as I did when I was a young lad, all try to mimic his voice. Welcome back, nice to be here. Nice to be anywhere, and all that type of stuff. And he loved it. He loved the kids trying to mimic his voice. The catchphrases are 2 for 22, marvellous, go well, and all these type of things. Yeah. But the great thing I've learned about him, you see, on my first ever time I picked up the microphone was with Richie Benaud in Johannesburg in 1994. Right. So as a player still in the tour, and he gave me a half an hour stint with him. It was just fabulous. But the thing I learnt with him about why he was a great commentator, he was so well researched. And when I asked him about the drug problem with regards to Shane Warne and in the World Cup, if you can remember back that far, I asked Richie, what do you think? And Richie peeled off the judge's name who's going to preside the case, what school he went to, what he presides in his previous cases, and that gave exactly how, and he told me right down, like, he'll get 1 year, and he was right. And that's the great thing is as we as journalists, and he was primarily like to be called as a journalist, did the research, and that was his defence. But ripper fella, a great bloke, and he was part of the World Series cricket that changed cricket around, and he surrounded himself with great people like Bill Laurie and now sadly the past Tony Greig and Ian Chappell in particular, our good friend here at NGTV. We'll be doing it very, very tough. I've commentated many, many times with him, cherished moments. Tell us a little bit about that. You, in fact, started your commentator stint with Richie Benaud as a partner. Tell us about that experience. Well, it was great. I remember once, because he was commonly known what we call the best ball-to-ball commentator. Okay. And if I was commentator, you'd be the colour, for example. In this case, the colour. So when the batting order came up, it had me as the ball-to-ball and Richie Benaud as the colour. And I said, "Richie, I'm not going to do that." He says, "Do as you're told, I think." So, righto. And there was this match against Netherlands, a World Cup match at Potchefstroom. And the pitch was difficult. And I said, well, this is doing a bit. And then Richie chimed in and said, "Seems to me that Matthew Hayden wants to bat the whole innings." And the very next ball, he got out. And I thought, he's out. And I just put the microphone. Richie's made a mistake. And he picked the microphone up and said, "Well, he's failed," and put the phone. That was it. Right. And he was just so succinct. And if you couldn't add anything to the picture, don't say it at all. Right. And yet commentary's changed a lot. I think we had a show last year with Nickel Mars about commentators, and the commentary's changed since when he
Yeah,
first
quick word
started.
on that, Dino. How was the commentary culture, you know, the style that he brought in when he started doing commentary, how did that change about cricket commentary over the years?
Well, he started his stuff at BBC in the 60s and went on. I think he's probably watched more test matches than any other man alive, probably. How's that for a life?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be absolute fantastic. He changed a lot of things. He did his research, and the BBC, the English way, is not to say anything. Where now everyone's up and at them and throwing stats and all that type of stuff, and maybe that's what the people want. But we've lost a treasure today. The state funeral will be held for him next week, so I don't know whether I might have to nip off to that or whatever like that. But part of cricket died today.
Part of cricket died today, as Dino said, and you heard him do that impersonation of Richie Benaud. Dino isn't the only one. A lot of people tried that, and like Dino said, he actually took it very, very sportingly.